back extension isometric. So we're using a bench here with a bigger resistance band as a setup to do the isometric, as you saw in the intro video. If you're at a facility that has access to like a back raise, a 45-degree back raise, you can do that. You can also do these off of a reverse hyper machine or a GHD machine, where you kind of hang over, your heels are hooked into something and you're bridging up and holding. But if not, this setup works. Let's talk about the lever. So like my axis of rotation, right? What's pivoting is gonna be my hips and each one of my vertebrae above the hip. So if I wanna make this extremely difficult, the intro video is showed as like the most progressed version, and then we can regress it back several steps as well. So the further the band is toward my feet and the further my hips are off the bench, the more load that's gonna be placed into the posterior chain or the back half of my body. If I wanna make it easier, I'm gonna scoot the band up my legs closer to my knees, and I'm gonna keep the bench about chest height. So I'll give you a couple of examples here. The biggest piece is that you're bracing, you're breathing, you're maintaining that position, you're trying not to fall. The second you kind of start really pivoting toward the floor, that means the back's getting fatigued, it's too much demand. Reduce the time or reduce the length of the lever so your body can hold the correct positioning. So I think the easiest way is to kind of straddle the bench, take the long loop, and let's do the simplest version first. I'm gonna bring it up, and I'm gonna try to get the band around about my knees. And then I'm gonna get my knees onto the bench, and then I'm just gonna gently scoot myself out to where I'm just past my chest on the bench. Now in this position, it's not too bad for me. It's gonna vary from person to person. If I wanna make that harder, I just scoot out a little bit further. Right, and I keep doing that until my hips are right at the end of the bench, and I'm holding that position. And again, if I wanted to make it harder even yet, I would take the band and I would move it all the way down to around my ankles, and I'm trying to hold that position for whatever the prescribed duration is. So we'll typically start in the easiest position first, and that's how you play with it to know where you should scale. And then if you're able to hit the prescribed time with no problem at all, like it's not even fatiguing or challenging, then you progress the length of the lever, meaning you either keep the band in the same spot and you move your torso out, or keep your torso in the same spot and move the band down. Try your best not to do both of those at the same time, because it'll make it significantly harder.